Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit.
The 2025 MotoGP season seems to be a proving ground for Marc Marquez. After officially joining the factory Ducati team, Marquez showed his dominance from the start of the season. At its peak, he performed superbly at the Silverstone GP with aggressive yet precise actions, leaving his rivals behind. Marquez's impressive performance did not go unnoticed by former Honda rider and MotoGP legend, Dani Pedrosa. Pedrosa, who was once Marquez's teammate, commented on the rider's remarkable transformation. Marc is the type of rider who always knows the limits of his bike, and he knows when to take risks. At Ducati, he got a bike that suits his riding style, aggressive but controlled. That's why he can master the GP25, said Pedrosa. According to Pedrosa, the key to Marquez's success is not only because of the performance of the Ducati, which is known to be strong on straights and sharp corners, but also because of Marquez's smart approach to racing this season. He is more patient, not as frontal as before. But when it's time to attack, he knows exactly when and where to do it. At Silverstone, we saw a mature and deadly version of Marc at once, he added. Here's the full news. The 2025 MotoGP season witnessed the return of Marc Marquez's dominance. After a long journey after injury and various adaptations, he has now found a new home with the Ducati factory team. Not just a comeback, Marquez appears as a rider who has truly evolved, not only technically, but also mentally. At the Silverstone Grand Prix held last week, Marquez was outstanding. Starting from third position, he showed composure and strategic intelligence throughout the race. On a track known for demanding consistency and aggressiveness at the same time, Marquez outperformed his rivals, including defending champion Francesco Bagnaia and sensational rookie Pedro Acosta. The incredible performance caught the attention of many, including his former teammate and longtime rival, Dani Pedrosa. The man who is now a test rider and MotoGP analyst expressed his admiration for Marquez's performance on the Desmosedici GP25. Marc is now a different rider from 5 years ago. He still has his typical aggressiveness, but now it's more controlled. He doesn't just attack. He knows when to wait and when to execute, Pedrosa said in a post-race interview. Pedrosa also highlighted how quickly Marquez adapted to the character of the Ducati bike, which is very different from Honda's RC213V, the bike he has ridden for more than a decade. It takes many years for many riders to understand the character of the Ducati. But Marc, he just clicked. He utilized the power of the bike, especially in accelerating out of corners and braking hard, two things that match his racing style. That combination is deadly, he added. At the Silverstone GP, Marc Marquez didn't just win, he dominated. From start to finish, he showed complete control of the race. When other riders began to lose grip, Marquez pressed. Several times he forced opponents to make mistakes, before finally opening the gap and finishing with a striking advantage. According to Pedrosa, this success was not solely due to the superior Ducati bike. The bike is important, but what makes the difference is Marc's brain and instincts. He's a rider who knows how to win. He learned from mistakes in the past and now he races with the patience of a true champion, he said. With the victory at Silverstone, Marquez now leads the standings with a margin that is getting away from the closest competitor. Many are starting to call this season the Maestro's Renaissance. Not just a return to the podium, but a return to the unrivaled level that once saw him dominate MotoGP for years. The big question arises, will 2025 be Marc Marquez's 9th world title season? If he continues like this, I don't think anyone can stop him, Pedrosa concluded in a confident tone. One thing is for sure. With performances like this, Marc Marquez is again the new standard in the world of MotoGP. And with honest comments from a legend like Pedrosa, there is no doubt that we are witnessing the rise of one of the greatest riders of all time. Ahead of the 10th MotoGP 2025 series to be held at the Silverstone circuit, attention is focused on Marc Marquez, the flagship rider of the Ducati Lenovo team. The 8-time world champion has begun to show a consistent performance that threatens the dominance of his rivals, including his own teammate, Francesco Bagnaia. After impressive performances in the last few series, Marquez is now only narrowly adrift of the top of the standings. His rapid adaptation to the Desmosedici GP25 has led many observers to consider that Marquez is no longer just a candidate, but a real threat in the title race this season. Marc is a real fighter. After several seasons full of injuries and adaptations, he is now back to his best form. Silverstone could be a decisive turning point, said Davide Tardizzi, Ducati Lenovo team manager. Silverstone, with its fast track and technical characteristics, is known as one of the circuits that suits Marquez's aggressive racing style. Last season, he showed great potential despite still being in a satellite team. Now, with full support from the factory, his chances of a podium or even a win are very open. However, the challenges do not come from outside Ducati alone. Internal rivalry with Bagnaia, who currently leads the standings, could spark fierce competition on the track. Ducati must be careful to maintain a balance between their two top riders so as not to harm the team's overall strategy. With predictably changeable weather conditions and pressure from other riders such as Jorge Martin, Pramac Racing, and Fabio Quartararo, Yamaha, Marquez will have to be perfect from the practice sessions to the main race if he wants to keep a tight grip on the top of the table. The 2025 Silverstone MotoGP will be a proving ground, whether Marc Marquez really returns to being the feared, the baby alien, or instead faces great pressure that could hinder his rise with Ducati. On the other hand, Marquez's transformation on the Desmosedici. The 2025 season marks a new era in Marquez's career. After leaving Repsol Honda, the team that made his name, he decided to join Ducati Lenovo, a team that in recent seasons has been known to be technologically dominant and racing results. This move was met with skepticism, given Marquez's typical racing style, which is known to be aggressive and prone to taking high risks, in contrast to the precision approach used by Ducati riders. However, in just a few series, Marquez managed to silence the critics. After adapting to the characteristics of the Desmosedici GP25, he began to lock up podium after podium, even tasting dramatic victories at Assen and Sachsenring. He now sits in the top 3 of the standings, just a few points behind the defending champion and his teammate, Francesco Bagnaia. Silverstone, favorite circuit and potential dominance. Silverstone circuit, known for its fast and technical characteristics, is one of those tracks that always brings surprises. With fast corners like Maggots Beckets and hard-braking sectors like Stowe and Vale, Silverstone demands the perfect balance of speed and agility, two aspects that Marquez now seems to possess with Ducati. Historically, Marquez has a pretty impressive record at Silverstone, including an epic duel against Alex Rins in 2019 that ended only a thousandth of a second apart. Now, with a Ducati bike that is superior in acceleration and top speed, many people think Silverstone could be an important momentum for Marquez to overtake his rivals in the standings. A serious threat to Bagnaia and Ducati itself. Ironically, Ducati's biggest threat this season could come from within the team itself. The professional relationship between Marquez and Bagnaia appears harmonious in public, but the competition on the track shows high tension. Several near-contact incidents on the track have already occurred this season, fueling speculation that Ducati's internal situation could heat up if not managed properly. Bagnaia, who has been Ducati's mainstay in the title race for 2 consecutive seasons, will certainly not remain silent as his new teammate begins to steal the spotlight and push his way to the top. Both are now under pressure. Marquez wants to prove that he's not finished, while Bagnaia wants to maintain his status as the team's #1 rider. Intense competition, external pressure. Outside the Ducati team, rivalries are also getting hotter. Jorge Martin of the Pramac Racing team is still a strong contender, while Fabio Quartararo is showing signs of a resurgence after Yamaha introduced an engine update. Not to forget, Pedro Acosta, the sensational rookie from Gasca's Tech 3, also began to steal important points. With the notoriously unpredictable weather conditions in the UK, the free practice and qualifying sessions are expected to be crucial. The slightest mistake could make all the difference between starting on the front row or falling to the middle of the grid. Marquez, between ambition and pressure. For Marc Marquez, Silverstone is more than just a racing series. It's a stage to show that he's still a rider to be reckoned with in the title race. After years of injury and setbacks with Honda, he is now in an ideal position to carve out the most dramatic comeback story in modern MotoGP history. I feel more and more comfortable with this bike. The team is working great, and I'm enjoying racing again, Marquez told a press conference ahead of the Silverstone GP. But I know every race is a fight. Nothing is easy. Conclusion: all eyes on the number 93. The 2025 Silverstone MotoGP is predicted to be one of the most decisive series of the season. Not only because of the intense competition between the top riders, but also because of the presence of Marc Marquez, who returned to winning ways. Will this be the start of a new era of Marquez's dominance with Ducati? Or will internal and external pressures become a stumbling block in his quest to reclaim the world crown?
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people say I cannot. I get off to the thought of proving everyone wrong, I won't stop to the top, so you better back off and get lost. I'ma stay loud, stay proud, never running out, never heading south. I'll be spreading out, call it word of mouth, can't put me down, I'll be getting loud. You can have your doubts, not what I'm about, have your fucking cloud. It be raining now, I keep making sound, go another round, bitch I'm legend bound, can't stop me now.
You don't